Hello and welcome to my channel, Talisman Tarot. In this reading I want to ask the cards and spirit directly through channeling about what your hidden talents are. And I have 7 groups here that you can choose from. This will be group number 1, this will be group number 2, this will be group number 3, this will be group number 4, this will be group number 5, this will be group number 6, and this will be group number 7. So I will ask you to use your intuition and choose the group that speaks to you the most, the group that catches your eye, and that group will be your group. And if you need any more time to choose, you can just pause the video. But if you don't need any more time, then just head down to the description box below and click on the timestamp for your particular reading, and your reading should appear in front of you. And while you're down there in the description box below, make sure to check out the guide I have on how to book a personal reading from me. I always love doing personal readings for you guys. It's always a pleasure. So make sure to check that out. And yeah, but let's just focus on this reading right now. So pick your group and I'll see you in your reading. Hello, group number 1. You chose this Tarot Cats tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 1, the people who will choose group number 1? What are group number 1's hidden talents? What are their hidden talents? Okay, so I'm sensing that your hidden talents are, like, I think you have a lot of talents that you have already realized. I think you know quite a few of your talents already. So I feel like the hidden talents are the talents that are gonna come as a surprise to you. And I think not a lot would actually come as a surprise to you at this point. So I feel like you are living very much in alignment with your true self, because it seems that you have already recognized your potential, recognized what you're good at, where your talents lie, where your skills are, where your strengths are. And I think that's very great. Like that's a really good quality to have, to be able to see yourself so clearly. But I feel like there are still certain things that you haven't realized already, and I think one of those things are your sensuality. I think some of you haven't really recognized your sexuality and sensuality, that you're actually very attractive and you have something that's very attracting. Like, you're very good at attracting people towards you. And sensuality. I think you have something about you that is very hard to put a finger on, but like it's hard to describe, but you have some kind of sophistication, elegance about you that makes you appear very sensual and very much like a muse or like a siren. Like, there's something about you that's just very captivating, very alluring. Like it's like you can lure people in and seduce people in a way that I feel like this is something you don't actually know. I think I think you see yourself as a hopeless romantic, and that you're constantly attracting some lowlifes into your life, and it's like maybe you feel like this is a joke. Like if you're so good at attracting people, why are you attracting the wrong ones? And if you are so seductive and so sensual and all of that, like why can't you attract a normal person? Why do you keep attracting these half-wits? And I kind of agree with you on that one, and I don't have an answer for you to why that is, because I think that's just, maybe it's like I think it's just like the irony of fate, like that's just how things are sometimes. So yeah, but I feel like there's also something about you not really realizing this and maybe not practicing this. Like you might, like if your sensuality is unlocked somewhere, like you haven't like fully embraced it, maybe it's not really living up to its full potential. Like maybe when you start to recognize that you are a very sensual human being, and like that you're overly like that you have an not overly, but like more than normal amount of sensuality and seductiveness, and like when you realize that, I think maybe you can use it to your advantage. Maybe you're not using it to your advantage right now because you're not fully embracing it, and maybe even hiding it away. Maybe you're kind of acting like it's not there. Like maybe you have a hard time with eye contact, and maybe you think it's because you're awkward. Sorry, you're awkward, or maybe you feel like there's something wrong with you, that it's some kind of social disorder or something that you have, that's the reason why you have a difficult time with eye contact. But I think there is another explanation. Maybe it is because subconsciously you know that you're a very seductive person, but consciously you haven't really realized it. But subconsciously you're acting accordingly to what your subconscious mind already knows, and that is that you're a very seductive person, and maybe your subconscious mind is kind of trying to shield you from some of the issues that can go along with being a very seductive person. So maybe it is kind of protecting you from that, and that kind of makes sense too, because it can be a burden, I guess. I would think so. But yeah, so maybe the reason why you have such a hard time with eye contact is just because it's with your eyes that you're the most seductive. So that is where the magic happens. When you have eye contact with people, then you can spellbind them, you can charm them, seduce them, and by limiting that power, you're also limiting the responsibility of that power, or the consequences of that power, I mean. And yeah, if that makes sense. But I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say about your hidden talents. Group number 1's hidden talents. With a Chariot, I think you're hidden. I think you also have a hidden talent in performing in front of an audience. I think you have a natural stage presence that you might not have fully realized yet, because maybe you feel like you're a bit awkward, or maybe you've always felt like that wasn't the right path for you because you have stage fright, or like that you're afraid of standing in front of people and saying something in front of people, and so maybe you've never really tried it because you always just assumed that you would be bad at it. But I think if you actually dared to take that step and actually stepped up on a stage, and not just one time but like 10 times or 20 times, I think you would realize that it's actually something you're very natural at, that you're very good at appearing natural on a stage in front of people, that you're very good at acting, I think. Not overacting, that you're very good at acting very naturally, and appearing very real. Like, even though you're scripted, you sound real. Like when you talk from a script, it's like you can just make it sound like a true conversation between two people. Like, and yeah, you don't have that theatrical, like, overacting, like doing too much of like too much shouting, or too many facial expressions and stuff like that. That you can limit yourself and make it appear very natural. So I also think that, like, that you have a lightness. I think your body has a lightness to it, like because of the air balloon here. It's like I think you could be a very good dancer as well. Maybe you wanted to be a dancer when you were younger, but and I also just feel like you have a natural lightness. Like there's a lightness to your movements, that it seems like when you walk, it seems like you're walking on air, something very light. And so I definitely think that, like, if you took dancing lessons, I think you would find out very quickly that you have a natural ability to do things that some people have a harder time doing, like, or have a harder time learning. Like, I think you're good at learning things with your body, like memorizing things with your body. Like, I think you could also be one of those who just have a natural rhythm, you can just sense the rhythm the music. So yeah, I'm gonna shuffle some more about your hidden talents. With the Knave of Pentacles, I think you have a natural balance. I think you have a very good balance. I think you could do very well in the things that require a good balance, like dancing, like balancing stuff, like balancing stones or balancing things on top of each other. Anything with like where you're balancing stuff. But also I'm also sensing something like horseback riding could probably be something you're natural at. Keeping yourself on top of things, also I'm also sensing that that you have a natural ability to learn new things. Like I think many of you already know this, though. Like I think you know that you have a natural ability to learn things in school. Like I think you might have always been quite good at school. Like I don't think you had a lot of problems. Maybe you even had ADD or ADHD as a child, but nobody noticed because you were so good at school, and like you didn't stand out from the crowd. Like nobody noticed that you had any issues because it didn't come across that way, likely because you were very good at learning, even though you had a learning disability, or like even though, but that's like a learning disability doesn't show if you're already on a higher level than everybody else, and the little disability doesn't really show because it just makes you look like you're like everybody else, like you're on the same level as everybody else, if that makes sense. But so but I think you have a I think you are a fast learner, and I think you have a good memory, a good working memory, like I think you're also very good at connecting things to each other, like seeing one thing and see how it's connected to something completely different, but like find the similarities between two things. I'm gonna shuffle some of these archetype cards just to get a bit more information on your hidden talents. Group number one, hidden talents. Group number one's hidden talents. artist, so I think you have a natural talent for art, and the card says expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. So I think you are creatively talented. I think you already know that, though. It seems like it's one of those things that you already know, but maybe you don't know that it's actually, maybe the thing that you don't know is that it's actually much more severe than you actually thought it was. Like maybe you always knew, like when you were younger, that you were very good at drawing, and that you probably were better at drawing than everybody in your class, and maybe you knew that. But maybe at some point you realized that you weren't that great, or maybe you looked on the internet and saw that a lot of other people were just as good as you, or even better than you, or something like that, and maybe that discouraged you from pursuing art because you felt like you weren't that extraordinary at it. But I think maybe the hidden part of this is that you are extraordinary, and you could be extraordinary if you found your style. I don't think it has anything to do with practice necessarily. I don't think I don't think this is one of those situations where you just have to practice and practice and practice, and then you're gonna become extraordinary, because I think you are already extraordinary in that sense. But in order to become successful with your art, if you chose art, would be to find your voice, like find what makes you stand out from the crowd. What can you do that that the others can't do with art, like with drawing. Like maybe you're very good at drawing faces, but everybody else can draw faces too, and it's all about finding your inner Picasso. Find that thing where you can change the style in order to make it your own in some way, like in some way that hasn't been done before. And I think you can do that. I think I don't even think it would take you that long to find your voice within the art world. So but yeah. But I think that's all I have for you, group number 1. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 2. You chose the Grunge Tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. Group number 2, so I'm gonna do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 2, the people who will choose group number 2? What are their hidden talents? What are group number 2's hidden talents? Okay, so I'm sensing that you have a very great voice, like a very good voice, and it seems like this is something that you don't you don't fully know, because it's a hidden talent. So it seems like it's something that you might have been told before. Like people might have told you that you're a good singer, but maybe you never really believed them, or maybe you've always just felt like you're just a bit mediocre at it, that it's not anything special or something. But I think it's actually very, very good. And I think it could, I think your voice could become very good if you just practiced. I think you could really develop your voice in a very short amount of time. That it would. I think you have a very strong voice, like a very big voice, and I think that might come as a surprise to you, because I think you might have this idea of your voice as very small or very limited, but I don't think it's limited at all. I think it's very, very big if you just practiced and opened up. I think it's a lot about opening up, because I think right now it's very closed off. It's like you don't use your voice in that way. Like maybe you live in an apartment, or maybe you live with a lot of other people, and so maybe you never feel like you can actually just sing really loudly, because that would bother people, or maybe you're a bit shy and you feel like that would be a bit awkward to just sing and have people hear you sing. Like that is a very, it is a very private thing. It seems very very hard to get over that barrier and sing in front of other people. So I think, but I think if you actually started singing more and started actually using your voice to its full capacity, I think you would realize that your voice can do a lot more than you actually think it can. That it's actually a lot louder than you think it is, a lot deeper than you think it is, and yeah. I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say about your hidden talents, group number 2. Yeah, pretty much. Like this, there's a woman singing into a microphone. So yes, singing. Like your hidden talent is singing. Like it's like you have a great voice. A big and strong voice that just needs to come out, because it's like you can use it for so much. Like I feel like you can use it for so many different genres. Like you can really, you have a lot of range to your voice. Like it can do a lot of things. You could even go, like, if you don't want to go into like music with your voice, like then like voice acting could also be something you could probably be very good at, because your voice can do so many different things. Like you can, like if you're a woman, you can probably sound like a man very easily. Like if you're a man, you could probably sound like a woman very easily. Like you might just have a lot of different like chambers within your throat, where you can sing from different chambers. That, like, if you're in one chamber, you can sound like an old man. In another chamber, you can sound like a little boy. In another chamber, you can sound like a little girl, or like something, I don't know. But there might be different chambers that you can kind of unlock if you just practice different. Like, you can probably also do imitations of other people, like imitate voices of different actors, or do imitations of singers. Like, you could probably sound like Miley Cyrus or Beyonce or something like that. But yeah, with the Nine of Pentacles, there's also a songbird on top of the microphone. Like, it's, I think you have just a naturally great pitch, great voice, great sense of tones, like great sense of, like, when you're out of pitch, and when you're not, like so. But I'm gonna shuffle some more about your hidden talents. Like, what are group number 2's hidden talents? What are group number 2's hidden talents? So, with the Page of Pentacles, I feel like another hidden talent of yours is your I think you have a good way of balancing stuff, or balancing the scales, or balancing something in your life. Like, there's something I'm also sensing this could have something to do with finances, that maybe you have a very good sense of your sense of finances in general, or economy. You might be laughing at this right now because maybe you feel like you don't have a good sense of your own economy or your own finances. And I think this is maybe why it's hidden. Like, you might feel like you don't have any sense of finances at all, because your own finances are a mess. And so you just assume that you're bad at it, that it's something you're just not naturally talented to handle, like that it's just not within your skill set. But I think it actually is. I think it is. I think you would be much better at handling other people's finances. Like, if you went into business and finances, I think, or business and finance, like, if you went into that field, I think you would be very naturally skilled at it. I think you would be very good at advising other people on their taxes and stuff like that, even though maybe you're not very good handling your own taxes, but it's like, I think you're good at doing it for other people. So with Judgment, this is someone who's singing and another person who's like playing the guitar. So I feel like, again, there's a singing part. I think you have a very good voice. You probably are also just very musical. You're probably very good at instruments, playing instruments, that you have a good rhythm, good sense of tones, good sense of like finding the right chords and stuff like that, and a natural ability to learn musical instruments, but also there's a lighthouse here, and so I think you also have a natural ability to find back to what's important. I know this is not necessarily a hidden talent, but I think you are a good lighthouse. I think you show people the way. I think you're very good at grounding other people. Maybe you're not very grounded yourself, and again, that could be why it's a hidden talent. It's like maybe you are chaos. Maybe you feel like you're chaos. You feel like you're the embodiment of chaos, that everything that happens inside you, you just feel like you don't have any control over it, and you're just kind of a mess sometimes. Or like, but I think you have this natural ability to guide other people, to be the lighthouse for other people, to balance other people. That you have the chaos, but somehow you can eliminate the chaos around you, like the chaos inside other people. Like you can just find it, pinpoint it, and fix it in other people. Like you can fix other people's problems, fix other people's issues, fix other people's like marriages, fix their lives, fix their finances, fix their careers. You can fix other people. You might not be able to fix yourself, but it's like, it's because you can't fix yourself that it seems like you can fix other people better, because it doesn't make sense. It's not logical, but it's still, it seems like what's it like minus plus minus equals like equals plus, you know, negative to negatives gives a positive, like, yeah, that somehow if you can, I don't know, but so but I think you are a lighthouse for people. Like people see you as someone they can come to for advice, that you're like people see you as much wiser than you see yourself. Like I think you see yourself in a very different way than other people do, and I think people really trust you with their issues, and they have this faith in you that you're gonna fix it, you're gonna make everything better, you're gonna find a way, find a solution, and usually you do. So it's like you're good at finding solutions for other people, give other people advice that you wouldn't follow yourself, but like you're good at making it up, like making up some bullshit that you say to other people that you would never follow yourself. But it seems to work for other people, so it's a good thing. Yeah. I'm gonna shuffle some of these archetype cards to find a bit more, like to get some more information about your hidden talents. Group number 2. Okay, so storyteller. So I think you have an ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. And I think you could be like a good songwriter, singer-songwriter. I think you could also be a very good writer, and have a talent for writing, talent for expressing yourself, talent for making up stories, and like writing stories, writing very good and realistic characters. I think you could be very good at writing social realism. And yeah. So, but that's all I have for you, group number 2. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one, and have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 3. You chose the Wandering Star tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 3? The people who will choose group number 3. What are their hidden talents? What are group number 3's hidden talents? I'm sensing that one of your hidden talents is that you're very good at attracting attention to yourself. And this is a hidden talent, so it's probably not something that you've used very much in your life. It might be something you're a bit oblivious about, like you might not know about this, because maybe you're someone who likes to be in the background. Maybe you like to blend in with the furniture. You don't like to have people look at you, and and you might not like it when the attention is all on you. But I feel like this is actually, like, you would actually be very good at being the center of attention. Like, if you wanted to, I think it would be easy for you to get it, easy for you to get the attention, and I think you have a very interesting personality, and I think people are very pulled towards you. People want to know you. People find you very exciting. There's something very exciting about you. And so if you use that more, I think you might have succeeded at trying to blend in with the furniture, but I think for some of you, you might not have succeeded as much as you would have wanted. Like maybe you've tried really hard to just be like everybody else and be as vanilla as possible and just be as bland and boring as possible so nobody noticed you. But I think people around you, they still seemed like they could see through it. I think some people have been able to see through it and see that actually this is all just an act. You're actually a very dynamic and interesting person underneath all that. Like, and I think, but I think, like, I think you've worked really hard at trying to be as incognito as possible, like be as like as anonymous as possible, go under the radar, like nobody, like you haven't like you don't want people to know the real you, that you seem to really show people a very different version of yourself than the version that you actually are. Like, I think you're a very colorful person, and I think it's something that not a lot of people get to see. And I think that's a bit of a shame, actually. I think it's a shame that that you keep some of the most interesting parts of yourself locked away, and you just show people the standard version of yourself, like this version of yourself that you feel like everybody expects from you, or feel like, or maybe you just have this, like, where you just go on autopilot, where it's just this I don't know, like I feel like not a lot of people actually know the real you, and I think that's a bit of a shame, because I think if you actually were this flamboyant person that you actually are on the inside, if you just showed people this really, like, over the top personality that you can have, like, if you like, if you wanted to, you could show people that side of you, but you choose not to. But I feel like if you chose to show people that side of you, you would get attention, like, instantly. You would be the center of attention. Everybody would be talking about you. Everybody would want to be your friend. Everybody would it would instantly start some kind of domino effect where, like, things would actually start looking up for you. I think not that things are not looking up for you right now. I'm not saying that, but I feel like there's so much potential here that is not being fulfilled because you're not showing people the real you. And if you showed people the real you, I think a lot of doors would open up for you. I think you would network like crazy. Like, people would come to you, like, give you their number, like, and contact information and, like, stuff like that, where people would want to cooperate with you, do cooperations with you. I feel like I don't know, but I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say about your hidden talents. I know this wasn't really about your hidden talents, but but I'm gonna see what the cards have to say. So maybe there will be more information. So with the Queen of Pentacles, I feel like your hidden talent is that you're very, you have the Queen and the King of Pentacles, and so I feel like you have like this quality to you that could potentially become very, very successful. Like you have some kind of star quality, something where like I feel like you could turn anything to gold. You are meant to be successful, and that is why you were given this flamboyant personality, this colorful personality, this funny, charming personality, this over the top, overly like dramatic caricature kind of personality that where it's like it's nothing to like it's meant to become iconic. Like it's something that will be remembered. Like you've been given a personality that stands out from the crowd. It's not supposed to be vanilla. It's not supposed to blend in with the furniture. It's supposed to stand out. It's because it's a star personality. It's something that is supposed to be unique and weird and awesome and iconic and amazing and strange and quirky in a good way. It's supposed to be that way. And not everybody will like it, but everybody will have an opinion on it, and most people will like it though. But of course there's always going to be some people who feel like it's too much or something like that. But the more haters you get, the more you will know that you're doing something right. Because if you can, like, not that like if you're out there pissing people off and then getting a lot of haters because of that, then of course that would be another story. That wouldn't, then that's not what I'm talking about. Like that's not the thing. Like I'm sensing that you have a personality that is actually a positive one, like a fun one, very colorful. I don't know, but and of course some people are gonna have like a negative opinion about it. Like if you went out in public, if you did videos on YouTube, or if you did TikTok or something like that, of course you would attract some haters, which everybody does. Everybody attracts haters, and if you attract haters, then remember that it's because you're doing something that stands out, because you stand out. It's because you're different from everybody else, and you're showing everybody the difference that is your personality, how different it is from everybody else's. Of course, people won't get it. Some people will feel like it's weird because it's not something they are used to, and then they will hate on it because it's not what they are used to. And people like what they are used to often. Like people are more attracted to something that they know, something they've seen 100 times before. Like people have like people usually like what they already know, and people are attracted to that sometimes. Like some people are creatures of habit and like to just watch the same thing over and over again, which we see on TikTok and stuff like that, where people just do the same videos, like the same trends over and over again, and somehow people never get tired of it. But I feel like there are a majority of people who actually enjoy watching something they've never seen before. And maybe it's not a majority. I don't really know. But I feel like there are many people out there who really appreciate originality. I don't think originality is dead. I don't think we are like making it extinct by just only praising the familiarity of things. Like I think originality is still appreciated, and I think if you went out and did something original, which you can do because you have an original personality, you have an original mind, you can think of ideas that have never been done before, things that have never been said, things that have never been like talking about things that have never been voiced before, like something about putting words to feelings that might have that everybody has, but nobody has completely put it into words yet, or something like that. Where I think you're just the person to do it, and so I think you are sitting on a gold mine, but I feel like you're not really you're not really opening up to it, because you're not really seeing yourself as this original person, because you've maybe always kind of hidden that away, or like tried to suppress it because you didn't really want it to come out, because you just wanted people to think of you as a normal person like everybody else. So you might have suppressed it so that you didn't stand out, so that people didn't realize what a dork you are, or something like that, where you maybe didn't really appreciate the dorkiness, like how the dorkiness is actually what's gonna put you on the map, like that's the whole thing. Like, I don't know, but with the seven of wands, I feel like your hidden talent is really that you have a hidden that you have a talent for being on top of things. Like you have a talent of getting, like, you could easily be put on a pedestal. Like people could easily see you as a role model, as an idol, as someone they look up to, if you just showed everyone what's inside of you. Like if you just like took what's inside of you and put it outwards, like for everyone to see, then I think people would just naturally follow you, follow in your footsteps. Like I think you have some kind of like front runner, first mover type of personality, that like if you took the first step, people would follow you. And with the Four of Wands, I think you have a natural connectedness where I think you're connected. You're connected to yourself. You're connected to I feel like maybe you're not that connected to yourself, but I think a part of you is very connected to yourself. I think inside of you, you're actually very connected, and like maybe you show people a completely different side of you. Maybe you have this mask on where you show a front, a persona that you have perfected over the years, where you've become very good at acting like somebody else or playing a role in order to fit in order for people to like you, because you thought that was the only way to make people like you, was to just do everything to not stand out, to be just a pleasant person, doing normal things, saying normal things. Maybe you've practiced in the mirror, like trying to practiced different facial expressions in order to seem as normal as possible, constantly thinking of how to appear just like everybody else, instead of appearing a bit off or a bit weird or something like that. And I think this is something where, of course, you're not very connected with your true self when you're doing that, when you're putting on that mask. But I feel like when you get home, when you're outside of, when you're in your zone, your comfort zone inside your own home or something like that, when you're in solitude, I think you are very connected to yourself. I think when you can be truly yourself, and I feel like that is when you're completely alone, then I think you know exactly who you are. And you know that you're playing a role. You know that there's that this other persona that you put on is completely different from the person you are at home when you're relaxed and when you're not trying to be someone you're not. And it's just about deleting that persona that you've created and perfected over the years. I know it's a bit of a shame because you've perfected it for so long, and it's actually become very good. You've made a very good persona, and I feel like there might be a connectedness to that, where you feel a bit connected to this other person that you've created, and maybe you are a bit afraid of letting this persona go, because it's been so comforting for you to be able to go out in public with this persona to rely on, that it's become some kind of protective shield. Where you haven't had and I feel like maybe it's not that simple to just get rid of it, because maybe there is a lot of bad memories tied up to times when you tried to show people who you actually were, maybe when you were in school, back in high school or something, where you showed someone a part of yourself that was true to yourself, but then you were maybe ridiculed for it or something, where maybe you felt like you needed this protective shield, because maybe you've created this very intensely, where you've thought of everything, maybe you have some hobbies that you like to do at home when you're alone, maybe you're good at drawing, or maybe you're maybe you play video games, or maybe you do maybe you have a Pokemon card collection or something, I don't know. But this is maybe something you don't want other people to know about you. So this is something you keep secret. And then you tell people you do something completely different. Like maybe you tell people that you are into literature, or like that you do go to the opera or something. I don't think that's maybe not that, but like maybe you have these other keywords that you tell people when people ask you what your hobbies are. You have these things that you tell people that are completely different from your actual hobbies. And this is, of course, like, I don't think you do it because you are ashamed of these hobbies. I think you do it because you want to protect these hobbies from the outside world, because these hobbies are very dear to you. And you know that if you share it with the world, they are gonna get tainted by the outside world, and you don't want them to get tainted, so you protect them by just naming some other things that you don't have any feelings towards. Like it doesn't have emotional value to you to tell people that you are into opera or into classical music or into something like that. Then that doesn't, like, if people then make fun of that, then you don't feel like a part of you is dying. Like a part of you is like, then there's nothing to because it's not you, then it's not, it doesn't need to be protected, and these things need to be protected, because you would be sad if these things got taken away from you by someone else shitting all over it or something. If that makes sense. But I feel like this, even though it seems like it has had its purpose, this protective shield that you've created around your true self, it has had a purpose, and I think it has served you in a good way. But I think it might be time to try to break this protective shield down and show people more and more of your true personality, your true self, because you have a very strong feeling of that. I think you have, like, you're not in an identity crisis. You know who you are. You just show people a different version of yourself. But you know, on a core level, when you go home and sit in your apartment or in your house all alone, you know who you are. And it's just about letting everybody else know. So with the Eight of Wands, I feel like this might need to happen soon, because I feel like you need to show people, like, you have so much star quality. You have, like, there is so much in you that is so original, and I feel like it's sad that people don't witness this. That people are being robbed from knowing you, knowing who you are, knowing the real you. I feel like you're keeping the real you to yourself, and you're doing it to protect yourself. But while protecting yourself, you're also robbing other people from yourself, and robbing yourself from other people seeing who you truly are. Because even though you perfected this other persona to the point where it's very realistic, and where you actually fool a lot of people into believing that this is the true you. Because I think a lot of people actually think this is exactly who you are on the inside. So you have really perfected this persona to the point where it's very realistic. But it is not necessarily a very interesting one. Like this persona that you show to people it's good, it's safe, it's pleasant. It's also good enough to make you interesting to a lot of people. Like people want to be your friend, even though you show them only this persona and not the true you. But I feel like so much more would, like, this is just like a little tiny little area where I feel like you've only unlocked like this little area on the map. But if you showed people the true you would unlock the whole map, you know, and the whole map would be your playground. Whereas right now this is only the playground that you have, and this is a safe zone. It's good, it's safe. It makes you feel like you can always like escape if you can escape into yourself if things become too overwhelming. You can just disappear and become anonymous, and like that. And that's also the thing about being completely anonymous, is that you feel like if things get overwhelming, you can just disappear and nobody will know. Or people will know, people will notice at first, but at some point people will just stop wandering or something. Like that it's that there are perks with being completely anonymous, but I feel like you don't have to have an escape route. You don't, like, there's nothing to escape from. Nothing is so bad that you would have to disappear from from the face of the earth. Like, there's nothing that can, like, I feel like you might be afraid of sharing things with people because you have this private sphere where you feel like when your private sphere gets too wide, it makes you feel uncomfortable and makes you feel like you have nowhere to escape to, because things just feel too narrow and feel like, oh, you can't go anywhere without meeting people. Like there's some, I don't know if you move a lot, like whenever you feel like a place gets too crowded, you might move in order to start afresh somewhere else, because when you start afresh in another town, another city, somewhere far away from the city that you know and have grown up in and stuff like that, then you're starting anonymous. Then you can be completely anonymous at first in that city, and that sounds good. It sounds lovely to be able to be completely anonymous, but it's also a way to say, like, oh, now too many people know me in this narrow area that I live in right now. Too many people know me. Too many people have seen who I am, and it's getting too crowded and it's uncomfortable. So now I have to move myself away from this so that I can become anonymous again, so that I can be just completely incognito again. And I think it has, like I think you just need to, like, I want you to break free from that. I think it's sad that you feel like you have to be anonymous, that you have to protect yourself, and that you can't show who you are to everyone, because that's so just sad that you don't, like, I think so many people would just love you, and like I think it's sad that you don't want to go, like I feel like some of you might have a feeling that you don't want to go on social media or like build some kind of like social media presence, even though you would be really good at it, but you don't want to, because it's like you feel like then there's nowhere to escape. Like if you ended up getting some kind of fame, then like where would you run to? Because then the whole world would feel like a hostile place where you feel like, no, where can I go if I get like fame like internationally? Like that wouldn't, like maybe you're a bit scared of that, like scared of that thought, and maybe you don't really want to think of that, and then you don't really want to do anything on social media just in because you wouldn't be able to handle if one of your videos went viral or something like that, because that would just be too scary, too difficult to escape from. And but I think you're really robbing people from the experience of you, like experiencing you, because I think it is an experience that I think many people would really just love and wouldn't want to be without. I feel like a lot, if you actually dared to show your personality to people, I think a lot of people would resonate with you. People would be able to see themselves in you. They would feel like you represent them, and they would be able to mirror themselves in you and feel like you're a representative of them as a group. And so I feel like there's a lot of people who actually need you as a spokesperson, as someone to speak up for them, and you would be a very good poster person for that. So I know I'm a bit vague here about like your hidden talents, but it's just because I think your hidden talents are an overwhelming lot. There's a lot of hidden talents, because your whole being is very hidden. You don't show people anything. There's nothing that's not hidden about you, and I think that's just what needs to be changed, is that you need to show people your talents, your skills, who you are, your personality, your identity, your self-expression. Like you need to get that out there, because you are very unique and original and special in your own way, and it's and you have a star quality about you that will make people connect with you instantly. And you are creative, and you have like there is something very creative about you. You are a visionary. You are a creator, a visionary. You're good at using your vision and like you're seeing something, visualizing something, and then creating it, materializing it, make it come to life. And I think you're not materializing on your visions right now, because you're just pushing it away, because it's like it's too scary to go about creating it and making it into something and then publishing it to the world. Like it's a too scary process. But I think you just have to do it, because and don't overthink it. People are gonna love it. So yeah. But that's all I have for you, group number 3. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 4. You chose this Cirque du Tarot tarot deck, and I'm gonna start with some channeling, and then I'm gonna shuffle the cards for you. So I'm gonna do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 4, the people who will choose group number 4? What are their hidden talents? What are group number 4's hidden talents? Okay, so I'm sensing that you're very funny. I think most of you are very funny, and I don't know why this is a hidden talent though, because I assume that you kind of already know this about yourself. I think you know that you're funny, but maybe you haven't shown the rest of the world how funny you are. Like maybe you are kind of sitting on it, like you don't want to share it with everyone. Maybe you're writing jokes alone, like when you're alone in your apartment. Like maybe you're writing jokes on your computer. Maybe you don't share those jokes with anyone. It's just for you, or or maybe you're too chicken shit to publish it to the world, and that's also okay. Like we shouldn't. Like everything happens in divine timing. Like sometimes it's not the right time, and if right now you feel like your humor and your inner comedian is not ready to be like thrown out to the lions, like then that's okay. Like it's. But I think it would be okay. I think if you're ready for it, I think it would be a very good idea to show the world some of your jokes and some of your brilliance, because I think you have a very good sense of humor, and I think people are really gonna like it. People are gonna laugh at your jokes. And because they are very good, I think your jokes are very good, and I think you should show people the funny side of you. I don't think you're using it enough. I don't think you're taking advantage of it enough, because humor is really something to take advantage of. Like, because a good sense of humor can really get you very far in life. It can make you very popular around other people. People instantly like someone if they are funny. But also, it can sort of give you a free pass. Like, it can help you get away with stuff, get away with things that you wouldn't be able to get away with if you weren't funny. Like a funny person can get away with being kind of offensive and kind of a shit person. Because a lot of funny people are shitty people. They usually have shitty personalities. Not that you have, but I'm just saying, generally, the funniest people in the world kind of have shitty personalities, and they get away with it. Like they can, it's like it's this thing where the funnier you are, the more politically incorrect things you can say and get away with saying without actually getting any consequences of saying those things. Not that I feel like you necessarily want to, but I'm just saying that there are kind of things, like there are things that that funny people just happen to be able to do and say, and they can say it because they are funny, and they can do it because they are funny, and if you don't take advantage of that, you're kind of limiting the possibilities. Like, and also, I don't know where I'm going with this, but maybe you know. Maybe you know what I mean by this, but I think, but you are very funny, and I feel like that is your hidden talent, is your sense of humor. And I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say about your hidden talents. Okay, 8 of Pentacles reversed. I feel like you have a talent of relieving people from depression, which is kind of amazing. So you have something about you where you, like, if you showed people your funny side, a lot of good would come out of it. People would laugh. You could make people laugh. You could make people forget how bad their lives are, and you can make people forget how miserable they are and how much of a loser they are, and you can make them forget about their truly unhappy lives, and you can do all that by just making a few jokes and making people laugh, and that's the beauty of comedy. Like, that's the whole thing, like, where comedy is very important. It's such a, like, it's important to make people laugh. It also prolongs people's lives to be able to laugh at things and laugh at also the misery and the, like, sometimes that's what ties people together in conflict, in crisis, is the ability to laugh at the tragedy and and laugh at the absurdity and laugh at the darkness and laugh at even laugh at death, like laugh at all the, I don't know, but with Queen of Swords reversed, I feel like you have a hidden talent of simplifying stuff, simplifying things that are difficult for people to understand, like very complicated concepts, and simplifying them to the point where they are kind of funny and absurd. And I think people really like that. Like I think you have a like if you wanted to make comedy, I think much of your humor would, or many of your jokes would probably be like something very logical, where it's like taking something that sounds very complex and very like very complicated, and then like simplifying it and making it like into nothing, like taking something very, very like somehow reducing it to nothing, reducing it to one simple sentence that kind of shows the absurdity of it by like I don't know, this doesn't really sound that funny, but I think when you do it, it's gonna make more sense. Like I'm gonna shuffle some of these archetype cards to get a bit more information on your hidden talents. Group number 4. Networker. So I think you have a strong ability to network. I think you're very charming and very socially intelligent. I think you're very good at talking to people, in connecting with people. It says enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. So I feel like you have a great way to unify yourself with other people. I think you would be good at working in teams. I think this is a hidden talent, because until now I think you've always thought of yourself as someone who is best at working alone, and maybe you've always just seen you as someone who's not a good team worker, not good at working, like not good at playing with others, like playing nice with others, or like that you're maybe just not very good at that whole dynamic, the group dynamic, whereas like you're good at networking. Maybe you know that. I think you know that you're good at connecting with people, but I think as soon as it's about working in teams, or team working in your education or at your workplace or something like that, when there's actually something at stake, where you feel like your performance is actually being reviewed by somebody else, like a third party, and where it actually will reflect badly on you if the rest of the team is performing less than perfectly, then that's gonna reflect back on you. And I think that is something that scares you, and that is probably why you don't like to be in teams, work in teams, because when you work alone, then you have all the control and you can make it as perfect as you want it to be. But I think you're actually quite good at working in teams, and I think it's actually a shame that you don't work more in teams, because I think you're very good at lifting people up. You're very good at seeing potential in people. You're very good at finding the assets within a group, and finding like the strengths of a person and the weaknesses of a person, and finding a way to make that person into an asset. I think if you kind of got rid of that control, the need of control, the need of everything being perfect, if you could like somehow reduce your perfectionism or perfectionism, and reduce your need of control, I think you would actually be really, really good at working in a team, and you would make the team the best team. Like you have you could use your perfectionism at that, like creating the best team, the perfect team. I think you could actually achieve that if you actually gave it a go. But yeah, but I think that's all I have for you. Group number 4, I hope this reading was helpful. And if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 5. You chose the Alcohol Tarot deck. And I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 5, the people who will choose group number 5? What hidden talents do group number 5 have? I feel like I feel like your hidden talent is your confidence. Of course, this is hidden, so maybe it's not. Maybe it's kind of in. Maybe it's kind of passive right now. Maybe it's like sleeping, like. But I feel like it's like it's something that can easily be awakened in you. I think you could be a very, very confident person because I think you have a lot of, like, you know who you are, and you know what you're good at, and you know what your talents are. I think you know a lot about yourself. I think you have also done a lot of work throughout the years of self-discovery, learning about yourself, learning who you are, figuring out who you are and what you can do. And I think you have gotten very far in realizing who you are. And I think in a way, not a lot of your talents are hidden. Like, it seems like most of your talents are actually out in the open. Like, it's realized, it's recognized, it's unveiled. Like, it's right there. It's you have figured it out. Like, you found the key. Like, you have everything you need to know. Like, you know it already. But what still remains hidden is your confidence in all the things that you have already realized about yourself. You know these things, you know what you can do, you just don't have you just still need to unlock the confidence, the belief in yourself, the belief that you actually can do all these things that you know you can do, but it's like you need some kind of confirmation within yourself to truly go about actually using these talents. Like, and with the Lovers, I feel like you have the talent to get what you want. You have the talent to point something out and get it. Like, that's what you want and that's what you're gonna get. I think you're very good at setting a goal and actually getting it. And I think whatever you set your mind to do, you can actually do anything you set your mind to do. And with the Lovers, like, you have some kind of luck, I think. Luck in actually being the one who's chosen. The one who actually gets chosen. I feel like you have a way of always being circled out. Like, somehow, even though you don't have the confidence, you still seem to always get recognized, or like, I feel like maybe teachers have always been able to see through you. Like, even though you weren't the kid who always had your hand up, like, and always had the answer, like, you might have always had the answer, but you never answered the questions in class because you were too nervous that your answer was the wrong one, so you just stayed quiet. But I feel like your teachers, they could see through this. They could see who you were. They were able to recognize that you had a lot to offer, that you were sitting on a lot of information, that you had a lot of skills and a lot of talents that you weren't showing to the rest of the class. And I think also, like, there's some kind of trust that people have in you. I think people have always trusted you to always have the answer. Like, teachers, I think teachers have picked you a lot. Like, when they asked a question to the class and nobody raised their hand, I think you ended up being the one getting picked. Like, the teacher just picked you randomly out of the rest of the class, out of your classmates. Like, he or she always singled you out and asked you because he or she always knew that you had the answer, even though you didn't raise your hand. So there's something about you that, like, even though you don't seem to have a lot of confidence in yourself, people still know that you know a lot and that you have a lot of talents and you're very skillful, very wise, very knowledgeable, and just very smart. And people know that. People see that in you. And I don't know if it's also your facial expressions that sort of give it away, like that people can see it on your face. that you know the answer, or that you know if someone is saying something wrong. Like you might have like some clues that you like, some cues. I mean, like some facial cues that people pick up on, where people can see it like written all over your face that you're that is something, like, I don't know. But people seem to know. People know that you are very talented. Even though you don't show them, they just know. With the 8 of Spears, which is 8 of Wands, I feel like people see you as someone who's very like, I think one of your hidden talents is your ability to think fast, think on your feet. I think you might be the type of person who overthinks sometimes, and that's maybe also why you don't raise your hand. Like in class, you don't raise your hand, because when you raise your hand, it's like this conscious decision that you make where you overthink the answer, like where you keep repeating what you're going to say, like up until you get picked. Like, and I think you perform badly in that sort of environment, where you have to like overthink your answer. But if you get asked spontaneously, I think you're better at answering. Like, I think it comes more naturally to you when you just get like a quick question that you have to answer out of the blue. Then I think you always give a very good answer, because you don't have the time to overthink it. I think you're also very good at winging it. I think you're good at going to an exam without actually reading the curriculum beforehand, and just going to the exam and just saying a bunch of nonsense, and then actually goes to show that it actually was exactly what you were supposed to say. Like, because I think you're very good at intuitively winging an exam, like figuring out exactly what the teachers want you to say, or what they are fishing for. I think you're also very good at reading people. I think I'm gonna shuffle some more cards. About what your hidden talent is. What your hidden talents are. Knight of Spirits, which is Knight of Swords. I feel like you're very good at making a point. I think you're very good at arguing. I think you're very good at debating. I think you're good at coming up with an argument, like right off the top of your head, like thinking on your feet, and just finding a solution here and there, like exactly at the time where, like, I think you're good in pressed situation, stressed situations where you have to like come up with a solution right away, because if you don't, like, then the house is gonna burn down. Like, like something like, I think you're good at like what's it called, the like managing chaos, managing some kind of chaotic situation, like working. I think you could be very good at working as a nurse or as a fireman or as a policeman or as like somewhere where you have to be in crisis mode all the time, because I think you're very good at thinking in crisis, like coming up with solutions in a crisis, talking to people in a crisis, calming people down. I'm gonna shuffle, and I think this is a hidden talent though, so it's like you don't, I don't think you know this about yourself, or you might feel like this, like that you're not confident enough or you're not strong enough of a person to be like in charge of a group or like in charge of a department or something like that. But I think you could actually easily be a boss or a leader of something, because I think you're very good at crisis management, and that is one of the biggest things that you have to be able to do it in like in a leadership position, like to solve problems like right when they happen, like, and I'm gonna shuffle some of these archetype cards to get a bit more information about your hidden talents. So, okay, with a God card, it says the light attributes here on the card says the card says benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. So I think you have a great way of you have a talent of recognizing your own strengths and other people's strengths. Of course, that has never been like your issue. I think you have a great feeling of what you can do and what you can't do, and I think you are very much in alignment with your true self, and like your personal truth is so like it's so much in alignment with how other people perceive you as well. I think it's like a weird thing where I feel like you know who you are, you know your strengths, and people see you, and people see that you also have this in you. So people also know that you're the shit. You know you are the shit too, but there's like this barrier that I don't really know what is, and I think I think I know. I think it's humility. I think it's I think you're just super humble. Like, I think you're really humble, and this humbleness is just making you appear less confident than you than you actually are, because of course that is humility. That is the whole thing about being humble, is to not seem too confident or too cocky or too bold. And I think, but I think you know deep down that you have a lot to offer the world, and other people can see it too. So the humbleness, the humility is actually like it's not really hurting anyone, because it's like there is a balance, or there is a like, yeah, it seems like it's okay. It's cool to not be like, because I'm really sensing that that you're not really showing any confidence at all, but it's not actually an issue at all. And that is kind of an amazing trait to have, that to be able to actually show people who you are without being confident in yourself. No, people just know that you're great without you having to brag about yourself, without you having to sell yourself to people and showing people how great you are, that people just know, naturally just know how great you are without you having to be like pitching yourself and like that's great. Like that's how it should be, I think. So yeah, with the Seeker card, it says thirst for wisdom and truth wherever they are. I think your hidden talent is also that you are a seeker. You seek wisdom and truth, and it's something that's very important to you. I think this is not hidden from you. Like, it's not a hidden talent that you haven't recognized about yourself. I think you already know that you're a seeker. You already know that you have a lot of questions that you are constantly answering or trying to answer about yourself, about the world, about your place in the world, about your mission on earth, like making sense of it all. And I think you are seeking what you can, like, I think you are aware of that. Maybe other people aren't that aware of your journey, your spiritual journey. Maybe you haven't shared that part of yourself with a lot of people, but I think people would actually respect you even more if you opened up about your spiritual journey with people. I think people would be very interested in hearing about it. You might feel like it's something that will just bore people, that it's not that interesting, but I think you're wrong about that. I think people would actually be very interested in hearing your story and how you got to the point where you are today, and how you realized the things that you realized about yourself and about the world. And like, people are actually interested in that stuff, more interested than you would think. So yeah. So, and I think you just have a hidden talent to seek wisdom, and it is a talent that you have that might have been inherited over generations upon generations. This need and thirst to seek out wisdom, seek out truth, seek out knowledge. I think you come from a bloodline of people who were very fascinated by certain questions about the world, and I think you have a legacy to uphold. Like that there is something that you need to follow, like a path that you need to follow, that has maybe already been like made for you, or like people have already, like your ancestors kind of have cleared that path for you, like some of the path for you, and now it's your turn to kind of clear more of the path for the next one to get along. So yeah, if that makes sense. But I also just see, like, I think your hidden talent is also your empathy, your compassion for other people, your amazing ability to put yourself in other people's shoes and actually envision how they are feeling and how it would be like to be like them, or to live a day in their life, in their shoes. You have a natural ability to picture that in your mind. And I think, of course, a lot of people have empathy. Most people do. But I think you have it to an extent where it's actually a talent, where it's actually something where you have a talent for it. It's a skill that you have that you and you do it better than the majority, I think. Yeah. So, but I think that's all I have for you. Group number 5. I hope this reading was helpful. And if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 6. You chose this Tarot of Mermaids tarot deck. And I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. And so I'm going to do the channeling now. So, Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 6, the people who will choose group number 6? What are their hidden talents? What are group number 6's hidden talents? What are their hidden talents? Okay, so I think you have a hidden talent for anything to do with the shadow self. You have a good way of connecting with the shadow of people, like maybe also of yourself. I think you're good at recognizing not negative, but the less flattering sides of yourself, that you're able to see your own wrongdoings. You're able to see when you're acting in a toxic way, or when you're acting in a way that's not serving you, or when you're acting in a way that's a bit low vibrational. When you're like you're good at analyzing yourself and your behavior. You can tell when you're acting out of vengeance, when you're acting out of jealousy, when you're you're very good at analyzing these things that the majority of people don't realize about themselves. The majority of people don't really catch themselves in the act. They can sometimes find out about it later on. When people act out of jealousy or vengeance or something like that, they don't really realize it in the moment when they are doing it. It's like this thing that they unravel afterwards, when they look back at it in retrospect, in hindsight. Then they can see, oh yeah, that wasn't very smart of me. I was doing this because I felt threatened, or because I felt hurt, or because I felt like my ego was in some kind of attack or something. And people don't realize it in the moment. But I feel like you have the talent and the skill to realize when you're doing something like that, something low vibrational, or like not really serving the higher purpose, something that isn't very good in the big, like in the grand scheme of it all. Like when you're looking at it from like the bird perspective, or like taking like looking at the bigger picture. I think you're very good at looking at the bigger picture, like while you're in it, while you're actually acting and reacting to your environment. You're constantly looking at your actions and reactions from an objective point of view, which is, it's hard to it's hard for the ego to step outside of itself and look at itself while doing something, like while reacting to a third. Like it's easier when you're like looking in retrospect, because then you are yourself is reflecting over a past self that has some kind of longevity to it, or like it has matured in a way where where the ego can reflect back on, because it has scattered into two, where it's easier for, like, I don't know, it's just hard to be in the moment, reacting within your body, reacting to something, some other person doing something to you, reacting to your reaction while inside your body, while also looking outside from the outside point of view, while also reacting. It's kind of hard. If it makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense. But I feel like you can do that. I feel like you are very good at reflecting over your actions and reactions while in the moment, and having clarity on the whole situation, which is also very hard to have. It's hard to have clarity in the moment. Clarity is usually something that's gained afterwards, which is kind of annoying that we gain clarity like usually people are in a fight, and then like they always realize all the great things they could have said, like while they are walking home after the fight, like afterwards when it's not relevant anymore, then they get all the golden whatever. I don't know. But I feel like you actually have the ability to say the right things also. Say the right things to people while in the moment, while in the fight. Being able to be the diplomat, be the word of reason, make people realize how silly it is that they are fighting over this thing, when like looking at the bigger picture, it's just silly. And I think you're very good at pointing out that people aren't really fighting over the right things, or that people are fighting over one thing, but in actuality they are actually fighting over something completely different that happened a long time ago, but they are using this other fight as a as like a what's it called, like a chance to get out the aggression from before that they didn't get out before, and now they're just using this as an opportunity. I mean, not a chance, but an opportunity to get that aggression out. And I think you're very good at seeing how, like, when people fight, that they are not fighting about that thing. It's something completely different they are fighting about. Like that it's just being used as an excuse to have a fight because they haven't gotten the aggressions out before, because it's like they have some unfinished business that they need to get out, and I think you're just very good at addressing those fights, being the meddler for others, like meddling into the. Of course, meddling is not necessarily a good thing, but like not always. But I think you're just very good at it. I think you're good at like putting things in perspective for people, so that they understand what they are doing and why they are acting in the way that they are acting, and why they are saying the things that they say. Like, and I think you're good at cutting through the bullshit and getting to the core of the issue. That it wasn't that the issue is not that someone called the other person a whore. It's like it's something a lot deeper than that. Like, that's just what's happening on the surface. There's just a lot going on underneath that people don't even realize. And I think you're just really good at finding the truth of the matter. And I think it's a great talent. It's a brilliant talent that you have. And I think you should definitely consider going into psychology or therapy, or like something like where you can be the therapist. I mean, like, don't go. I'm not saying you should go to go seek therapy, or like I'm saying that you should be the one giving people therapy. Like, I think you would be very good at it. Maybe you should also seek therapy, because it wouldn't hurt. Like, everybody would benefit from that. It would also be silly for someone to offer therapy to people without actually getting therapy themselves. So I think most therapists could benefit from therapy. So, but if that makes sense. So I'm gonna shuffle. So with 3 of Pentacles, I think your hidden talent is that you're a great scholar. You're very good at learning. I think you already know that, but maybe this is something that's kind of laying low right now, where you're not really using this talent as much as you used to, or maybe you're taking a break from academia or something. But I think, like, you have a great talent for learning new things, and of course academia is just one way to learn new things. You can also learn things through alternative routes and alternative ways to learn, alternative educations. But I think you have I think you're very good at reading, and like reading a lot of a lot of material and actually remembering quite a lot of it after reading it. Maybe you're not the fastest reader in the world, but I think, or I think some of you are very good at reading fast. Others of you are maybe a bit slower, but I think you're very good at getting all getting all the details memorized. So, yeah. With the Queen of Pentacles, I feel like your hidden talent is that, like, you're very down to earth. You're very logical. You are very good at seeing through the bullshit and just finding the core, and like you're not you're not all up in a fantasy world. Like you see things very clearly. You have a lot of clarity on the things that are going on around you. Like you're very good at just seeing exactly what's happening, where the misunderstandings lie. You can also recognize when people have too high expectations of others, and when they get frustrated when people don't meet their high expectations. And I think you are very good at noticing that in other people, and it's very much because you are so down to earth, so realistic. You have you don't have a lot of expectations that aren't realistic yourself. What you expect from others are very realistic of what you are gonna get, and it kind of makes me think that you have some psychic abilities too, because it's like you know what to expect from someone. You know what you're gonna get. You know what that other person is gonna say to you. You kind of already know. Like, you know what's gonna happen next. So you don't expect too much from the future, because you know what the future upholds. You know what's gonna happen. So your expectations are in alignment with what you have predicted is gonna happen. So I feel like you have some foresight, some claircognizance. So yeah, I'm gonna shuffle some of these archetype cards to get a bit more information on your hidden talents. What are group number 6's hidden talents? Scribe. So I think you're very good at writing. The light attributes say preserving knowledge and information, and so I think you're very good at writing notes. You're very good at taking notes. You're good at navigating through what's going to be important. Like when you're in a classroom, I think, and you're like taking notes, I think you're very good at writing down the things that you are going to use in the future, like what's actually gonna be important information in the future. I think you're very good at navigating through that because of your foresight. You know, like when a teacher is saying something, you know when it's not important and when it is very important. Like you can tell what is actually going to be used and what is just going to be fluff that you don't really have to memorize because it's not going to be useful to you in the future. So with the Fool card, it says fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. So I feel like you're also very funny. I think one of your hidden talents is definitely your ability to entertain. This is maybe something you don't realize about yourself, that other people have realized about you, is that you're very funny. And I feel like you don't really know how funny you are, or maybe you do because people have probably told you that a few times, or maybe numerous times. But it's like, it's something you don't really truly believe. Like, you feel like you're not that funny. Like, it's not like you're cracking jokes all the time. But I feel like it's also like just the way you say things. Like, you say things in a very humorous way. Like, it's the way you word things. Like, you just have a natural ability to be funny. Like, there's also just something very revealing about the way that you talk. Like, you're not afraid of revealing things about yourself that other people might think of as a bit embarrassing or a bit too private, or or too much information or something like that, where you're very truthful and very honest, and you say what's on your mind, and you're not afraid of making a fool out of yourself if it's going to make other people laugh. Like, if it's going to lighten the mood, if it's going to make other people feel less embarrassed. Like, I feel like you're very empathetic, a very empathetic person, and you're very in tune with your surroundings. You're very in tune with the people around you. And if you feel like somebody is uncomfortable around you, you're gonna do everything to make that person feel less uncomfortable. And if that means you have to tell an embarrassing story about yourself in order to make that person feel comfortable enough to open up, then you're gonna do that, because whatever it takes. I think you're very good at using yourself as kind of a puppet, or like something where a tool to get something that you want. Like, if you know that you can use yourself as a tool to make somebody like comfortable or happy, like if somebody is sad and you know exactly what can cheer them up, you're gonna do it, even if it's gonna make you look like a fool. You don't care, because it's like, it's all about the end goal. It's about it's not about like, yeah, it's, I don't know. But with the Queen and the Goddess together, I think your hidden talent is also well, first of all, you have a lot of feminine energy. You're very intuitive. You're very in tune with your surroundings. You're very socially intelligent, emotionally intelligent, and also just intelligent. But you have, like, you're very good at understanding people. You're very good at psychoanalyzing people. You're very good at understanding people's reactions and actions, and what people say contra what people do, what people say contra what people what people mean, like what their intentions are. Like you can tell that like when people say something, they actually mean something completely different. There's very few misunderstandings in your life, because when people say something, you just react to the intention of what they say. You don't react to what they actually say, and you can see through it. You can navigate through it. You understand, and it's to the point where you don't even correct people. Like if people say something wrong to you, you just reply with whatever is the correct answer to the question that they were meant to say. And you just keep going. Like you don't even, like if someone says the wrong word, like if someone miss says a word, like uses a different word than their intentions were, you know which word they were supposed to say, because intuitively you have already in your mind replaced that word with the word that was that their intention was, where their intention was at. Like the intended word is already there. You've replaced the word with the intended word. And not a lot of people do that. Like a lot of people end up correcting people and saying, "Oh, did you mean this?" Or but I feel like there is something very brilliant about people who just correct the word in their brain, and like when you go back and ask them, like, "Oh, like, how did you know I meant that when I actually said this?" Then I think you don't even notice that you do it. Like you don't notice that you replace the words and actually hear. You hear what is intended. You don't hear what is actually being said. You hear the intention, and you just take it from there. In a way, you could talk to people non-verbally, because you read the intention, you hear the intention. Words are kind of like secondary to the intention in your brain, and I think that's honorable. It's great. Like, so yeah. And you're also just like very, very good at expressing your femininity. I think, and using your femininity as an asset, using your emotional side as a superpower instead of suppressing it, because of course in the patriarchy women are being, or we have this programming where we think emotions are associated with something negative, that it's bad to have emotions, it's bad to be emotional, it's bad to be hysterical, and I think it seems like your hidden talent is that you're so good at using emotions. You're using emotions as a way of communicating. You read other people's emotions already. You can tell what people are feeling, and you also use emotions as some kind of cathartic tool, like something that can escalate people into actually getting out of their loop, out of their like sometimes people get people need their emotions to escalate. Like sometimes we have very this is some theory. I don't really remember who wrote this theory about something about escalating emotions. I think it's it's Mesmer. Mesmer wrote something about it. I think a lot of other people did too. I don't think. I think he was one of them who wrote something about like this was a practice that was done like a long time ago, where in psychiatry they tried to see if like by escalating people's mania, like trying to get it over, instead of trying to get the mania down, instead just head it to the roof and like get it all the way up until like it like a balloon that just keeps keeps getting bigger and bigger until it explodes. And that somehow you could use that by like escalating the mania so that it gets to a breaking point, and that breaking point will then make the person become aware of first of all they would become painfully aware of the mania. The issues they have would be so open and it would be so easy to realize because it's been blown up to a grander scale. So it's so like the negative traits are so out there in the open, and that it is hard to not recognize. It's some kind of theory that I don't really remember. It's a long time ago since I read about this, so I don't know. But I don't even know where I was getting at. But I think you can help people in a similar way. But I'm also just feeling like your path. Like I think you really have a great talent in psychology. And I think it would be a shame not to go down that path, because I think you have such a great understanding of the human behavior and why people behave in certain ways, and how to not manipulate behavior, but kind of manipulate human behavior in a way where it serves them. Like it where you can kind of be the play them like an instrument. See if you can press the right buttons that makes the right sound, or I don't know. But I feel like you can play people like a piano. Like you are very, very skilled, like when it comes to psychology. And I think, you should use that in your career path, definitely. But yeah, I think that's all I have for you. Group number 6. I hope this reading was helpful. And if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 7. You chose this Miss Cleo's tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you, group number 7. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 7, the people who will choose group number 7? What are their hidden talents? Group number 7's hidden talents. hidden talents. Okay, so I'm sensing that you have a great talent for leadership. And I think some of you might not have realized this. Maybe you haven't tried being a leader. Maybe you haven't practiced being a leader. Maybe you don't think you would be good at it. Maybe you feel like that's more for extroverted people. Maybe you're a bit of an introvert, so you don't really see yourself in a leadership position because of that. But I feel like this is a great talent of yours. I think you are very good at leading people, seeing people as assets, like recognizing the good in people, recognizing the positive sides of people, the strengths of people, and also the weaknesses, like finding the weak link and or the weakest link, and then like, because no group is better than their weakest link, and like I think you're very good at finding the weakest link and raise it up to the level of everybody else. Like I think you're very good at building people up, seeing the potential in people. Yeah, I think you're also just very good at complimenting people, praising people, making people feel good about themselves, making people feel confident about themselves. So yeah, I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say about your hidden talents. Eight of Swords. I feel like you're very good at I think one of your greatest talents are, like hidden talents are, your ability to talk to yourself. I think, and I think this is something you're gonna, like something that's very good in a leadership position, to be able to talk to yourself, like to be able to confide in yourself and ask yourself for help. Ask yourself for guidance. Like, I think you already do this a lot. Like, I feel like a lot of you ask yourself questions. Like if you're in in a situation where you don't really know what to do, you don't know what to decide. Like, if you have a decision you have to make, you might ask yourself, like intuitively, ask your higher self or spirit or something like that. You might ask, like, what should I do? And then you get the answer, maybe by you answering with your mouth, like answering the question really fast or something, or inside your head, or like listening to spirit or something like that. But I think I just feel like you ask a lot. You're very good at asking questions. You're very good at asking for guidance. And like when you're all alone, and you're supposed to make a decision all alone, you're very good at just closing your eyes and just asking, like, what should I do? What should I do? And then like listening to the guidance that you get. And I think that's really good, and I think that could get you really far in a leadership position, to be able to have that oracle that you can ask, like inside of you. So yeah. but I'm gonna shuffle a bit more. Eight of Cups. So it's kind of the same thing. Like it's, I think you have a very good talent for meditating and being calm inside yourself and finding peace within yourself, using your spirituality in your everyday life as an asset, as like you're very good at using spirituality, using it as an advantage, using it in your everyday life as a tool to get forward, to move forward, to make decisions, to find clarity, to ask questions and receive answers, to channel ideas, brainstorm ideas, asking and receiving ideas for your business or for for your work or for your education. Like I feel like you're just very good at receiving messages, receiving clarity, receiving answers, and I feel like this is a hidden talent of yours, not because it's hidden for you, but it's because it's hidden for everybody else. I think you keep this very secret. I don't think you share this with anyone because, of course, people are going to think you're nuts if you tell people that you talk to yourself all the time, that you ask yourself questions all the time, and you answer them yourself inside your head. That is going to make some people side-eye you a little bit and look at you in a like you're a bit crazy. So of course, because they don't understand it, they don't know what it's all about. So I think it's something you keep hidden, and I think it's okay that you keep it like as your hidden gem, like this thing that is just for you, something that nobody, like it's not anybody else's business. Like you're allowed to keep this for yourself. You don't have to share it with anyone. You don't have to share your secrets with anyone. You are a magician, and a magician doesn't have to spill the beans to anyone. Like they can just keep all their tricks for themselves. And yeah. I'm going to shuffle some of these archetype cards to get a bit more information on what your hidden talents are. Hero, heroine. It says passion for a journey of personal empowerment. So I feel like your hidden talent is your spiritual journey. I think your journey towards personal empowerment. Like you're very good at developing yourself. You're very good at like growing as a person. And I feel like a lot of your spiritual journey has gotten you to this point of elevation. Like I think you have really elevated since you started your spiritual journey. I think you've realized a lot of things about yourself because you've asked spirit or your higher self or whatever you've been asking, and I think you've received a lot of answers that way. Answers about yourself, answers about your your personal truth, answers about yeah, also I think you've gotten a lot of advice from spirit or from your higher self about like what steps to take moving forward, what you should do, how to react to certain situations, and I think it has made you a better person. And yeah, and it's definitely a talent. It's like I feel like you can always be the hero in every situation because you always know what to do. Like you know how to react in the best possible way where everybody's gonna be happy. Like you know how to be the hero in every story. Like you can make yourself the hero. You can like. I feel like there's a lot of things where your connectedness with the spirit, with your spirituality, has really helped you connect with other people as well. Like where you might have asked the spirit or your higher self about like how to deal with some people in your life, like what to say to them, what to do to make them happy or make them content, or like how to better their lives, or how to make their lives make their lives better. That was the same thing as I said before, but like but yeah, something like that. But and I think this has made you into a hero, because I think this has really revolutionized some of your friendships and relationships, that you've been able to know what the best way to interact with these people were, like how to react better with them, interact with them better, how to make them happy. And I think I think it's just, I think your hidden talent is that you have found a way to become the hero. You've found a way to help people, and like help, and not only help yourself but also help others. Use the tools that you've used to help yourself, and like now that you've helped yourself, you know how to help others in the same way. And I think that's very, very extraordinary, actually. So but I'm gonna shuffle a bit, one more card for what your talents are, hidden talents. Lover, it says great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. I feel like your hidden talent is also that you truly care. You have a lot of compassion, you have a lot of empathy, you truly care about the people around you, and you care very deeply, and you love very deeply. And I think that is a superpower also, like to be able to care about so many people in your life. Some people can only care about 2 or 3 people at once, because caring for more than that would overwhelm them and make them tired and burned out. Like, but I feel like you can take care of a lot of people at the same time, give a lot of people your attention at the same time, and I feel like you don't get overwhelmed easily when it comes to like emotional relationships and connections. You might get overwhelmed when you're worked and like a bit like when there's too many tasks that have to be done at the same time. That might concern you, but I feel like you always make room for the people in your life, and you prioritize your time and your energy, and you prioritize the people over mindless tasks. Like you can see what's the important thing, like what's more important, people or things. And I think you always prioritize people over dead things. And yeah, and I think you're also very good at listening to people, and I think it has something to do with you also being very interested in people. Like you're naturally interested in getting to know people. You have a fascination with people in general. Like you want to see people succeed. You want to see them live up to their full potential, and you're interested in hearing their stories and learning who they are and getting to know them and seeing their point of view and seeing and listening to their opinion about stuff. Like it really interests you to get to know someone. And I think this true natural interest that you have to the people around you is a very good talent. It's a great talent that might be hidden because you don't see it as a talent. So you don't recognize it as a talent, but it really is. It's a great talent to have. It's amazing to be able to give the people around you that devotion and be as fascinated with people as you would be fascinated with a TV show. Like that you are able to make create that interest in another person, where it's like you're watching a movie. It's like you're invested in the story. You want to hear the next chapter. You want to know what's next. And I think it's also a big talent of yours is that you also memorize people's details, like details about people's lives, things that they tell you. Like you always remember what people have said to you. You might have all conversations that you've had throughout all the years that you've been alive. You might have all these conversations memorized. Like that, it's like you remember them word for word. And I think people really like that. That when they talk to you, you always remember what they said the last time you talked, and you can always reference what they talked about last time, and like ask them more questions about something they said a few weeks ago or a few months ago. Like you can bring it up and say like, oh, what happened about that? Like I remember you talked about that the last time we spoke. How is it going with that? Like, is there any progress or something? And you can make that. You can do that because you seem to have a very good. I think it's called narrative memory, where you remember conversations and stuff like that. But I think you have a good good narrative memory, and that is a talent too. Like it's a great asset to to have. Like it can really help you network and connect with people, and especially also in a leadership position where I think anybody would be like very lucky to have you as a boss. So yeah, because you see them, because you understand them, because you listen, because you memorize personal things about them, you do all the things that a boss should be doing. Like, so I think you could be a very good leader or a very good boss. But yeah, but I think that's all I have for you, group number 7. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one, and have a great day, and bye.